I think the midpoint of a film is the other great place to have a twist. I mentioned Barbarian in the beginning, and that was such a fun viewing experience because it's so tense up until the point, and the midpoint hits. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. And then it kind of answers the question of like what's going on with the house, and can we trust Bill Skarsgård? And oh no, everything's changed. And then it throws you to this other scene. You're just like, what is happening? And what it does is, if you're on board, it leaves you just wondering like, what is going to happen the rest of this movie? You know, another example is Psycho, and it's got to be one of the most famous midpoint twists in history, probably. Where the main character we've been following this whole time, oh, murdered in the shower. Now what are we supposed to do? You know, we've been going with this story this whole time, and now it's just, it just leaves you wondering what's going on the rest of the film. Knives Out is another great, I could just mention great movies. Let's talk about movies the whole time. Knives Out is great because you get the answer to the murder mystery in the middle of the movie. And I remember thinking out loud to myself, what's going to happen now? Because we care about the person who is basically is the killer, and we want them to get out of this situation, but we also don't know how this is all going to resolve itself, you know, and it just leaves you wondering for the rest of the movie. And that's what a good midpoint does anyway. It's just a boost for the rest of the movie, right? So a good twist like that, where it's literally twisting almost like in half, where you're just like, I just don't know what's going to happen. Another one of my favorites is From Dusk Till Dawn and Sinners. They both do the kind of the same thing, where just like this great story that's happening, and then vampires.
They look like psychos. Is that what they looked like? They were vampires. Psychos do not explode when sunlight hits them.
But I will say, as I mentioned about lying and stuff, some people don't like, especially From Dusk Till Dawn, there's no real mention of like vampires and stuff. And if you don't know that going in, that there are vampires, it feels kind of like a rug pull a little bit. I love it, but that's an example of something that could go either way, because some people were just kind of betrayed by it. So you got to be careful, but a good midpoint twist can really boost your film.